Sussex Sharks put Friday's defeat to Kent behind them as they opened up their NatWest T20 Blast campaign with a 6-run victory over Gloucestershire at the Brighton and HoveJobs.com county ground. Put in, Sussex lost Luke Wright in the game's second over, the acting skipper cutting James Fuller to Tom Smith to go for 3. Plenty in a good crowd had come to see Mahela Jayawardena playing in Sussex colours at Hove for the first time, and for a while he certainly didn't disappoint. It was his partner Chris Nash who struck the first 6 of the afternoon, David Payne being swept into the stands. Is there anything batsmen can't do these days? That was one left-armer taken care of, while Payne's replacement, Matt Taylor, received even more punishment off the bat of Nash, his second 6 sandwiched between 2 fours. The total read 55 for 1 at the end of the 6 overs of power play, Jayawardena taking advantage of the decision by Ian Cobain to use Smith within that power play. Nash and his Sri Lankan teammate laid an ideal platform for their side, taking the total to 87 for the loss of Wright by the halfway stage of their innings. Both batsmen into the 40s against a team which began their T20 season with a handsome win over Middlesex on Friday. Smith, the former Sussex player, then rather ruined the day for many by bowling Jayawardena for 43 as he tried to go big again at the start of the 11th over. It was Gloucestershire's other spinner in the form of Jack Taylor who was to face a bit of punishment, as Craig Kachopa soon got a move on, striking 2 sixes off successive deliveries, as in spite of that loss of Jayawardena, the Sharks maintained the tempo. A sizable final total looked likely, until Smith struck twice in 3 balls in over number 13. Having made 43 off 33, Nash was held in the deep by Marshall, and after Kachopa smashed his third 6 in his first 9 deliveries, next ball it was LBW to the left-arm spinner, who would have been delighted to have finished with figures of 3 for 23 from his 4 overs, an excellent return for the man from Eastbourne. Those 2 wickets set the Sharks back. Only 16 runs came off the next 3 overs, and then Ben Brown was totally foxed by a slower ball from Payne, leaving with a score on 133 for 5 with 3 overs remaining. But Will Beer is turning into an excellent T20 cricketer. He rarely gets hit around the park with a ball in his hands, while he has the ability to inflict such things on visiting attacks. A couple of 6s took his side to 167 for 5 from their 20. Beer with an excellent cameo of 22 in 11 balls at the end. The home team could not have started their defence of that score any better, as Steve McGoffin trapped Chris Dent in front first ball. In fact, Gloucestershire were soon left with it all to do. McGoffin struck again in his second over. Cobain, who made a career best 91 on Friday, out for 6 here as he clubbed to right. And the visitors were in a hole on 39 for 3 when Tymal Mills wisely used his slower ball to dismiss Fuller, a man with very bad memories of this ground. Beer then maintained his excellent run in this form of the game by having Marshall stumped by a distance for a 45 which had dominated the scoring. And then Michael Yardy came on to knock out Peter Hanscom's middle stump in his first over, as the Gloucesters looked well and truly out of it on 68 for 5 after 10 overs. Having gone for only 19 runs in his 4 in Canterbury on Friday, man of the match Beer was to take 2 for 26 here, his last delivery bringing an end to Benny Howell's innings on 8, McGoffin completing the dismissal off a top-edge sweep. It looked all over, but Geraint Jones and Jack Taylor both clubbed 6s to just about keep their side in this contest. They added 25, but when Jones was bowled by the returning Mills for 25, Gloucestershire were on 112 for 7, still needing 56 to win from 27 balls. That was reduced to 38 off the last 3 overs and 19 off the last 2, as McGoffin's final over, the 18th of the innings, was surprisingly expensive. Taylor hit 1-6 before Smith repeated the dose a couple of balls later, as suddenly this game was there for the taking after McGoffin's last 6 deliveries went for 19 runs. Crucially, Smith then hit Ollie Robinson out to Kachopa at deep mid-wicket after making a speedy 16, and that left 15 to get off the last over, just 4 runs being scored off the penultimate one. A big start to the last over was needed by Gloucestershire, but Taylor was bowled by Mills for a thrilling 36, and with that went the game. The Sharks delighted to get the job done, although it was much closer than it might have been. The margin of success, in fact, was just 6 runs, Mills taking 3 for 30, his best ever T20 figures. Next up for the Sharks is a trip to Taunton to take on Somerset, who are waiting for news on the arrival time of Chris Gale. That game takes place on Friday.